welcome to Star Wars Rebels Season 3 episode Legacy of Mandalore. Unfortunately, this time, Grand Admiral Wolf is not going to join me reviewing this episode because he's busy with college and all that. So this time, I'm going to try to do the episode review on my own. So, this episode is the sequel of the last Star Wars Rebels episode, Trials of the Darksaber. Or more precisely, another episode that is based on Sabine, her backstory, and her connection with Mandalorians. And I'm going to tell you that this episode was not only awesome, when it comes to, the animation, the battles and all that, but very, very touching, or more precisely, very emotional. Especially when it comes to Sabine's relationship with her family. Fair enough. At the beginning, I will say that her mother at the beginning sounded more like a dick. Like a bitch, but still at the end, somewhere in the middle of the episode, when you understand why she did that, why she acted the way, even if her brother and her mother sees her in some way, as a traitor, because at the beginning of the episode, they more follow their Mandalorian honor than actual family and that. So in some way, that part of they were acting like a bunch of dicks. But when it comes from the middle to the end, you can see they already changed their mind, because what is more important thing in life, except your name, except your family honor, whatever, your the Mandalorian honor, whatever. The most important thing is family. And until the end of the episode, Sabine and her family, her mother Ursa Wren and her brother understand that, And so, like I said, this episode was really awesome, really fantastic. I really like, the relationship between Sabine and her mother, and of course, the relationship that she had, with her brother as well. Speaking of her mother, like I mentioned before, her mother's real name, the name of Sabine's mother is Ursa Wren. So all that theories that I always said that her mother is the sister of Duchess, all falls down the drain. All falls down to the drain. Deep in the darkest corner, deepest cellar to grow most. So you can forget about it. Right there. Seriously. So the entire episode started with Sabine, Kanan, Ezra, Funro, go, and of course, alongside Chopper. Of course, where the hell you can go without Chopper? Seriously. Okay, so the entire episode starts with them, on the Ghost, and try to go to, at the beginning actually, when the first time I saw the trailer of the second part of season 3, I thought that this snow planet, I thought at the beginning it was Mandalore. Seriously, at the beginning I thought it was Mandalore, but in the end you find out it was Crown Nest. That's how the planet was called, which is the home, or more precisely the stronghold of Sabine's family. And so like I said, the episode started when they go on the planet, try to persuade Sabine's mother and brother and the other members of the clan to join the rebellion, to fight against the Empire, be free of them and all that. In some way to bring again the Mandalorian honor, But of course being House of Islam, the family name of that, of course in the beginning, you could definitely see that they try to say to her, fuck off, Even like I said, even if her mother Ursa Wren tried, to save Sabine's life, even if she felt in some way, that she was, that she's a traitor, and all that, just like we found in the last episode. But in some way, you could definitely see, like I mentioned before, you could definitely see Sabine being just like the Duchess, Satine, because even her wanted, the Mandalorians stop, making wars and all that, or fighting each other, killing whatever. They. Even like the Duchess, Sabine won the same thing, even if she built the weapons for them and all that. So that's one thing. So they arrived there and they were ambushed by Mandalorians, in their usual white armor and all that. And who was leading the armory? Who was leading the group? Sabine's brother, Tristan Wren, and which is, like I said, I didn't mention at the beginning, but it was really kind of cool. We finally meet, Sabine's family. Now, when it comes to mother and her brother, but also we find out that her father is alive as well, and in the way how I understand it, he's locked away on Mandalore. I don't know if they meant like he's a slave, a prisoner, or like he was blackmailed by the Empire and doing their own doing business for them. I don't know. I mean, it was something like that. But the one thing I understand, he was held prisoner. He wasn't free. And he was still locked up in Mandalore and all that. So like I said, when it comes to her father, like I said, we only have like few mentions. Or if you mention the episode, But what can I say? Next season, if they're gonna make it, I'm really hoping they're gonna meet Sabine's father. But like I said, the only thing we can confirm right now is that he is alive. Now, who he is, I don't know. But one thing is, this was not because Darth Maul cut off his head, But the one thing I was really, one thing I will say is that after this episode, at the beginning of the trial of the Darksaber, I really started to like Sabine's character way more. But this time, I love it. I really I was really getting closer and closer to her character because it's amazing, her personality, the relationship we had, like I said, the relationship we had with her brother, with her family. The other thing that I really love about this episode is Gar Saxon fighting Sabine. Oh my God, that was amazing. Which also, I'm not forgetting to tell you, Gar Saxon is killed off in this episode. This is the last episode we will see. This is the last we'll see for when it comes to Gar Saxon. Also, I remember that one time, the episode where Tristan Wren actually said about Gar Saxon, saying that he's the right hand, is it that he's the hand of the Emperor? I mean, I know that in Legends, Mara Jade was actually, the hand of the Emperor. So, I mean, I don't know what actually that means, like, that the Emperor has, like, many, like, hands, under his service, or, maybe, like, Gar Saxon is the canon version of the Emperor's hand. I mean, I don't know, I'm just saying, I don't know, we'll see what's going to happen next, Well, actually, at the beginning when I saw the trailer, when Sabine actually was, like, you see the screens, like, scenes, like, when Sabine is fighting him and all that, I actually really thought, that she's gonna be the one that's gonna kill him. I never actually thought like he's gonna be like, her mother like shooting him and all that, But still, Gar Saxon was a dick. He was a dick. He deserves to die. But one thing I will mention is that one crazy thing, also funny thing, when Sabine defeats Saxon, she holds the lightsabers, in a scissor-like, the same position against his neck, like Anakin Skywalker in Revenge of the Sith, when Palpatine was like, do it. I mean, fair enough. When I watched the scene, I did the same thing that Palpatine, that Darth Sidious did to Anakin when he was talking about, killing Dooku. Do it. I was doing the same thing. Do it. Even if, at the end, Sabine spared, his life. Even if it was useless because, Ursa Wren shot him. I mean, fair enough, if she didn't shoot him, he would kill him. He would kill Sabine. So, same way. So, oh yeah, I was going to mention one thing. Also, Ezra was kind of, Kanan and Ezra, they were really kind of cool, in this episode, by, speaking, for Sabine, trying, to persuade the rest of the family. Even if, after, the mother tried to sell them to Gar Saxon's team and all that. Except her daughter, because like she said, I will give you the Jedi, but my daughter stays with me. Even if Gar Saxon said like, of course, I'm gonna let you your family, or I'm gonna let your daughter, live with you and all that. Oh, and but by the way, when I arrive there, all of you will be traitors, and we're gonna shoot you, because that's how the Empire works. Because since that time, Gar Saxon is, I'm gonna take good care of you and all that. I knew that Gar Saxon is gonna, invent something that say like, oh, you're holding traitors and all that. We have to shoot you. I knew this is gonna happen, and I have to say, like, of all the villains I saw in Star Wars Rebels, Gar Saxon is one of the villains that actually get on my nerves. I mean, don't get me wrong, he was okay Mandalorian villain. Even if I don't see him at the same level as previous levels in Clone Wars, but still, But still, he was okay, but I'm still fine. He was killed off in this episode, Even if I was a little bit shocked that Ursa Wren shot him, but in a way, how the occasion and all that. When you see like the main room of the stronghold of the Wren family, you definitely see the behind Ursa's throne. You could definitely see the mural of Ursa. When on the wall, when Ursa Wren on the wall above her throne. It seems like it seems actually if I'm correct, sorry. it seems like this was done in in the style of a real life painter. What was the painter called? Gustav Klimt. Gustav Klimt, I think. Yeah. I mean, I'm actually, okay. I'm not an expert in art, but I understand a few things. So, in a way, it was kind of cool to see. If I think that's the painter's name. I'm not quite sure. Gustav Klimt, in a way, like the portrait, in a way, if I can say it, was that was behind the throne and all that. Find out that we mentioned that Ursa Brain was actually alive, and members of Death Watch, when Darth Maul cut off Vizsla's head, now which was kind of cool, but even still, she was one of them, with the helmet and all that, so you couldn't see her face, But still, overall, like I said, still overall, like this was a very beautiful episode. I mean, I really liked the action. The animation was great. The cinematography was also awesome, and I really, really like the emotional stuff in this episode, which was which for me was the relationship between Sabine and her mother. In the way how they were on the balcony talking about the Darksaber, about family, why she see her as a traitor and all that, even if she did all this, just to protect her life and all that. I really, really, really love it. Also, I forgot. Also, not very mentioning. Looks like this is gonna be the last time we're gonna see Sabine, because in the way how she described in the end, she will not return back with them at the headquarters, because she'll be because like she said, her place is with her mother, with Mandalore and all that, and I really wonder who's gonna be the one actually she chooses, to give the Darksaber. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. But the one thing, I do have one theory. That maybe for example, if Sabine will not lead the Mandalorian army against the Empire, for example, here's my theory, if Duchess Satine's sister is alive, even if she was confirmed that she's alive and she's going to be in Star Wars Rebels, maybe she could be the leader? The one who's going to lead the Mandalore? I don't know, I'm just saying. I don't know. But overall, my rating for this episode is going to be a 4 out of 5. Yeah. I mean, there were like few nitpicks, that maybe could have been done better. Maybe, also, one of the nitpicks I will mention is that Ezra, some way, is still like doing shit, in this episode, except like, talking for Sabine, that, which was kind of cool for him and all that, But overall, like I said, it was a very satisfying episode. I really loved it, especially, filled with action, emotion, the relationship between Sabine and her mother and her brother. Also, one thing I really like is that when Sabine was fighting her brother, and they were like, in the same way, like they were like, talking to each other, with, alongside fighting and all that. I really like that. I really also love, that scene and all that. So overall, 4 out of 5. That's my rating for this episode. Here I am, done. Rate the video, comment, subscribe, give me thoughts and example what you personally think about this episode. What did you think about Sabine's mother? Sabine's family in general? What do you think about Sabine's decision, that she's gonna stay, with Mandalore? Who do you think is gonna be the worthy to wield, the Darksaber? Even if, when Sabine mentioned, that she's not gonna be, the one that's gonna lead the Mandalorian army, unfortunately. Give me your personal thoughts. Drop me a like. I would appreciate that. Peace, everyone. Have an awesome rest of the day. Royal Shells, like always, signing off. See you next time. May the Force be with you. Bang!